half the Megillah. The Chayra, if the tzibur is going ahead and they're reading from the Chumash, so if you tell me that if I go back, what do? We say it, but we have the Chazan say it again because we want to be Yotze from the Megillah Sheira. So if Stein is right, the reason why we say it is Lahabris Besimcha, these are the happy parts of the Megillah, so the whole tzibur says it. We're not going to be Yotze what we say in the Chumash, we'll be Yotze what the Bakara says. But according to Stein, once I said it in the Chumash, I'm already Yotze. So you see that that's not the case. You have a clear right, not like Stein. But I found tonight, I saw Rabbi Shlomo Zalman, it's very interesting. When Rabbi Shlomo Zalman writes the halacha of saying over the last pasuk in shul, Rabbi Shlomo Zalman writes that the tzibur who don't know how to Megillah Sheira, they should make sure to have in mind not to be yotze with the pasuk that they're reading from the Chumash. So Mistam Rabbi Yerushalmi's teretz. But Al Kaponim, this is the Pesach. You have those who what's called again, who finish the pasuk, and there are those of Shlomo Zalman, Reb Moshe, the Ksais HaShulchan, and many others. We say that Adrabah there's no need to, and Reb Shlomo held the dafki you shouldn't. Marked Islay. Whatever somebody does is right. If a shul doesn't yet have a minhag that they have to do, so Adrabah I would say not to finish the pasuk. Try to get everybody. So why say the whole pasuk? Just say the three words. The Marked Islay, that they're both correct. But this is just a shtickle Pesach to the machlokes of exactly how to do it and why we have the Zachor and the Zachor. Let me just I'll jump on my. I just want to finish with one last thing. What should we do? I got the choice of two here. On the bracha of the Rav Sivenu or making a kriya for ladies on Purim. Any
do both.
Ladies to make a special kriya? Okay, so now regarding making a special kriya for Noshim, now over here in Shul we do it. We allow it here. Now many of the poskim were against it because the cheshbon is 1 second. If ladies are not machayim Parshas Zachor, so to take out a Sefer Torah for no purpose, it's a bizayon l'sefer. So being that it's a bizayon l'sefer, many poskim felt that it's a bizayon l'sefer Torah, not machayiv anyway, so why take out the Sefer Torah? However, there are cholkim, and the reason is like this. Listen to her advice. In Siman Reish Pei Hey, when it talks about the halachas of Shnai Mikra V'Echad Targum, the Mechaber says, he says that din al pi shadim shmei kol Torah kula, there's a din of Shnai Mikra V'Echad Targum. Right? And the Mishnah Berurah brings down this advice. Writes the Mishnah Berurah. Mishu baki b'tamim b'nekudos. If a person, let's say, knows truck, he knows that alone, he'll be able to read the words correctly from a Sefer Torah. And this is talking about Friday afternoon. It's not even on Shabbos. Toiv lahader likrois b'Sefer Torah gufa. Says the Radvaz, the Mishnah Berurah brings this down halacha. It's kedai to do Shnai Mikra V'Echad Targum from the Sefer Torah itself. And the Shari Tshuva quotes in Ari. He quotes in Ari that Arizal every Friday afternoon. You can take a look. He says, "Umiyad achat tefillah shachar sayil hoylech l'makim sheyesh sefer Torah v'koyro Shnai Mikra V'Echad Targum." So over there, the guy could be Yotze Shnai Mikra V'Echad Targum. Those didn't need a klaf for Shnai Mikra V'Echad Targum. The whole point is to learn the Chumash, and you see clearly to let the person take out a sefer Torah. Now there are kashas to this, but L'maisa the Minchas Yitzchak brings down that the minhag in Ashkenaz was that they did make a special kriya l'nashim. The Chazon Avadia also, he cites many poskim. The Chazon Avadia, I didn't bring it, but the Chazon Avadia quotes many poskim that also allowed it. So therefore, min adin, if a shul wants to make a kriya l'nashim, la'alacha, you're allowed to do it. Marked Islay is definitely what to is what to rely on to do a special kriya l'nashim. Can we jump one more? Yeah, one more. Let's do a quick one. By the bracha, fast. I'll say it over really quick because it's negay l'maisa. By the bracha, Rabbi Sivenu, the Mechaber tells us, Tafrei Tzadik Beis, that after the Megillah, we make a special bracha of a Rabbi Sivenu. Come to Rishonim and ask a Gavaldig Kasha. The all is Kabbalah Kasha, the Ritva, everybody, all the Rishonim ask this Kasha. Notice the famous klal of bracha smucha l'chavata. The Mashal, by Shemona Esrei. Every bracha doesn't start with a Baruch. We start at the beginning of the Shemona Esrei with a Baruch, and every consecutive bracha, at the Chayning, Salach Lanu, Hashivenu, doesn't begin with a bracha. Why? Because one bracha that's next to a different bracha, you don't start with a bracha. Birchas Kriyishma. You start off Yotze Or. Rabbi doesn't start with a bracha. The Kalbarch doesn't start with a bracha. Why? Bracha smuch l'chavata. In fact, all the Rishonim, how could you make a bracha at the end of the Megillah? It's bracha smuch l'chavata to the bracha in the beginning of the Megillah. Comes the Ran, and the Ran answers, because there's a difference between the bracha before the Megillah and the bracha of the Rabbi Sivenu. The bracha before the Megillah, that's in the midst of Kriyas Megillah. The bracha of Rabbi Sivenu is not in the Megillah. It's a birchas hanes. It's a special birchas shvacha, birchas hanes that Chazal enacted that when one finishes the Megillah, the tzibur gets together to say the bracha of Rabbi Siveinu. However, Rabbeinu Peretz says a different teretz. Rabbeinu Peretz says, no, that's not the pshat. He says, really, the Rabbi Siveinu is on the Megillah. But the reason why we don't say the klal of bracha smucha l'charita is because since there's such a long gap in between the first bracha and the second bracha, so there's such a long stretch. Megillah sometimes can take even up to 25 minutes or a half hour. It can take that long. So therefore, there's such a long time that passes from the beginning till the end. So therefore, we don't give the klal of bracha smucha l'charita. What's the nafkamina la'alacha? There are two nafkaminas la'alacha l'maisa. Comes at Tzitz Elomitis, comes at Tzitz Eliezer in a tshuva, and he says, there's more, but let's take two la'alacha l'maisa. One is, who makes the bracha? You finish with the Megillah. Does the whole tzibur say the bracha? Or does just the Balkara say the bracha? Says the Tzitz Eliezer beautiful. According to the Ran and the Ritva, it's a Berch HaShvach, it's a Berch HaNeis, it has nothing to do with the Megillah. So the whole tzibur makes the bracha. But if you learn it's a bracha on the Megillah itself, like Rabbeinu Peretz, so the same way the Balkara made the bracha in the beginning, so too also, he makes the bracha at the end. He says another nafkamina. And this Lamaisa, it's unbelievable. When we finish the Megillah, so what the Balkara does is he straightens out the Megillah, and then he makes the bracha of Rabbi Siveinu. What is a person allowed to talk? What happens if a person talks? Does he lose the bracha? A lot of times it can take even up to let's say half a minute, up to a minute by the time they finish rolling up the Megillah. The person's next to his friend in shul, or let's say the ladies upstairs, they're next to their friends, they're talking to each other. Is that a hefsek now that they lose out the bracha? It's beautiful. According to the Ram Ritva, that's a Berch HaShvach, so there's no hefsek. Even if they spoke, you can still make the bracha, because it has nothing to do with the bracha on the Megillah. However, if you're going to go like Rabbeinu Peretz, Rabbeinu Peretz holds it's a bracha on the Megillah, so there's a hefsek between the Megillah and the bracha. The same way the guy makes a bracha in the beginning of the Megillah and starts talking about something that has nothing to do with the Megillah, he has to make the bracha again, who I did also at the end. If someone speaks, there'll be a hefsek. So how do we pass on the dina? Who makes the bracha? Does the tzibur make the bracha, or does the Balkara make the bracha? So again, it's a machlokes. But however, the dina, this is what we do here in shul, because Reb Moshe Paskin, the Aruch HaShulchan also held that like the Ran and the Ritva, it's a bracha on the nes. So being that it's a bracha on the nes, that therefore the whole tzibur makes the bracha. And that's what we did. That's what we did in the previous years. That the council tzibur made the bracha. The other ones who have the Balkara make the bracha, they're going like a shita Rabbeinu Peretz, that it's a bracha on the Megillah. But the Mishnah Berurah says that even if you're going to go like the Ran and the Ritva, that it's a Berch HaNeis, a person still shouldn't be mafsik. He shouldn't talk because you don't want to lose out the shita Rabbeinu Peretz. So therefore, the Mishnah Berurah says one shouldn't be mafsik. Now, let's say a person was mafsik. You have the Ran and the Ritva, but why put yourself into a machlekes that according to Rabbeinu Peretz, perhaps even a bracha b'atola? So therefore, Ladino, we talk noig not to be mafsik in between the end of the Megillah and the Rabbi Siveinu, but as at tzibur they say it together, being that we go with the Ran and the Ritva, it's a Berch HaShvach and not a bracha in the Megillah.